Hier bin ich wieder, Stanley Parable. Es geht weiter.
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Sehr gut.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
Ich weiß, wenn ich es abnehme,
How's that
dann
even possible?
wirst du richtig
None of these
arschig.
decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices?
Mach halt die Tür wieder auf.
Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Aha.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Okay.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice. Okay.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Wo geht's eigentlich hier hin? Oder hier? Oh.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Was? Warum nicht?
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. Dann, ja, gehen wir hier rein. Wieder zurück und 4,55. Irgendwie sieht es ein bisschen anders aus. Ich weiß nicht.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real
Irgendwas
world.
wird da nicht passen. Pass auf.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Irgendwie. Scheiße, jetzt wird alles irgendwie ganz. Da haben sie ja echt Mühe gegeben mit den ganzen. Guck dir das mal an, das alles irgendwie stimmt überhaupt nicht. Geil. Okay. Ja, und? Muss ich jetzt dann links rein, oder was? Gibt es jetzt gar keinen anderen Weg? Lustig, ohne den. Okay. Oh
It's
no.
ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Okay. Okay, was ist das? Jetzt geht's auch nicht.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish.
Shit.
With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Krass, das kenne ich gar nicht.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Ach, hatten wir das nicht auf diesem einen Board gelesen?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Nope.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Ich kann das den ganzen Tag machen.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Okay. Let's do the last. Probieren wir es nochmal.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Na, geht nicht. Geht nicht. Ich dachte, ich kann da noch ganz schnell. Ja, okay, jetzt gehen wir mal ins linke, weil es anscheinend sonst in so einem Time Loop gefangen.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep. Da wird es aber auch nicht besser aussehen, sage ich dir. Huh? Oh.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Geht.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh. Broom Closet ist zu. Und
coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Der hat's mir verschlossen, dass ich nicht... Ja, so ein kleiner Arsch, hä? Ach. Auch zu? Die wahrscheinlich auch, oder? Aha. Oh. Ah. Ja, geil. Das ist anders.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week.
Echt?
Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Mhm. Ja, ich kann ansonsten also sicherlich nichts hier machen.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Ja, ja. Hier. Hier rein. Mache ich das so richtig? Night Shark.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Ja.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Ja. Aber wo? Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you had better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Okay.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this.
Cavern writing.
The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Fängt jetzt wieder von vorne an. Ich möchte noch mal in die grüne Tür.
He knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Hallo?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Okay. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hier rein.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Tja, das werden wir gleich sehen. Ja. Das werden wir jetzt gleich sehen. Ha. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for playing playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right.
Jump
All
circle.
right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Wie springen. Okay.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Okay, 34 Mal kann ich noch springen. Okay.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes.
Okay.
I knew there had to be something else.
Ja,
Let's
klar.
see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base
kann jetzt
rush a
nicht sein,
cheap
oder?
expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my
Nein, das
fault,
ist
Stanley.
geil.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game?
Nein.
We'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having
No
a great time
extras.
together like always. What do you say, friend?
Ja, gut. Hey, hat sich voll gelohnt. Das stimmt nicht. Da möchte ich. Irgendjemand hat mein Büro woanders hin umgezogen.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Sunset. Na gut. Tipp. Gut, wenn ich da reingehe, komme ich nicht mehr zurück. Was mache ich? Nee. Oh. Wo bin ich? Was geht ab?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh. Oh, wie schön.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Was soll man dazu sagen? Geil. Okay. Memory Zone. Memories.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Xbox port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh. Ist das jetzt echt oder ist das nicht echt? Da ist Little Stanley, der kleine Hamster.
Je suis dans la memory zone, seul sur la pluie de l'eau.
Hört sich an wie eine französische Chanson.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like the stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
Ja,
Every
lass mich
game
mal weitermachen.
ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Xbox. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Pressurized Gas reviews. Uh-oh. Not?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Geil. Jetzt geht's auch nach draußen. Aber wo geht's jetzt hin? Kann ich hier irgendwas machen? Nee. Oh. Das Wetter gerade draußen wirklich so ist.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games,
boring, fast despite the alternate endings, the game cannot appreciate.
I'm not preachy, am I?
This game is titled
Tell me if I'm preachy,
but
honestly,
you will get
oh,
the
goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Jedenfalls regnet es jetzt hier gerade und ich möchte nicht nass werden.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. Oh, der Skip Button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
Schauen wir mal. Der bla bla bla. Hallo? Hello? Is he dead? Oh. Huh? Oh.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said...
Die Uhr ist runtergefallen. Beginnt das Gebäude kaputt zu gehen?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh ja, guck mal, da kommt immer mehr Wasser durch. Schauen wir mal. Geil. Warum ist das jetzt? Warum ist das jetzt so? Wenn ich noch weiter vorspringe, dann geht auch hier irgendwo mal die Wand kaputt. Okay. Oh. Das war aber gerade schöner mit den... Ich bin ganz froh, dass ich hier drin bin. Jetzt wird's echt creepy. Schnell weg. Hallo? Wie viele 100 Jahre habe ich jetzt übersprungen? Hallo? Ja, der Knopf geht nicht mehr, oder? Ne, der geht nicht mehr. Mist. Oh. Okay, ich bin wieder da. Ich bin wieder da. Hier extra Content. Haha. New Content. Also, wir sind in die Tür reingegangen, wo New Content draufsteht. Das erste Mal, als ich da reingegangen bin, was? Etwas ernüchternd. Der Narrator war auch etwas ernüchtert. Er hat gesagt, was? Das ist der neue Content. Und wenn das der neue Content ist, wie langweilig. Und da ist ja überhaupt nichts Gescheites. Und dann hat er mich quasi down the memory lane geschickt und in so ein kleines Museum, das er angelegt hat, wie toll doch seine Version, seine alte Version war. Und jetzt bin ich dran vorbeigegangen und dann hat er gesagt, ey, Alter, schau noch mal rein, da ist noch mehr. Ja, weil bisher war dieser neue Content, war ziemlich creepy. Also, wir sind in den Raum gekommen, da war ein Knopf, auf dem konnte man dann drücken und die Zeit überspringen. Also wenn er gesprochen hat, bisher war es immer so, man musste sich das anhören, dann konnte man das überspringen. Aber diese Zeitabstände sind immer größer geworden. Also das erste Mal war es so eine Minute oder ein paar Sekunden, die man übersprungen hat, wurde immer mehr, bis es dann wirklich Jahre und Jahrhunderte waren. Und dann hat man auch gesehen, dieses Gebäude, in dem das ist immer mehr verfallen. Es war so ein bisschen wie in dem Film Die Zeitmaschine, wo er in dem Gebäude ist und die Zeitmaschine läuft und dann verfällt das Gebäude um ihn rum. So war das dann ungefähr. Also, ist mega cool. So, jetzt wollen wir mal schauen, was jetzt so passiert. Also, absolut neues Terrain. Keine Ahnung.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Whoa.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Was wie? Ist jetzt Ultra Deluxe, gar nicht Ultra Deluxe, sondern... Oh, wie geil.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions?
Oh,
Think
yeah.
of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is what fans have truly been asking for.
Geil. Irgendwas? Hm? Mal alles anklicken.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Was ist denn mit seiner Stimme jetzt gerade passiert? Fotos. Notes. Und auf der anderen Seite angeklebt. Naja. Schöne Büroräume, gefallen mir gut. Möchte ich haben. New content is out. New content part 2 is in... Old and busted. New hotness. Okay. Cool red section of the chart. Boring sections of the chart. Okay. Alles ziemlich schick hier. Gefällt dem Daniel gut. More TSP, better TSP. Win-win. Color red leverages holistic value. Paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelope, client-centric marketing. Ah, wie geil. Oder? Kommen wir hier irgendwie raus? Nicey. Stanley Parable 2. Stanley Parable 2. Parable 2. Parable. Thanks for. Ja. Das ist schon das Beste und das ist, ja. 2.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Wie cool. 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. Who took the red marker? Me. 2, 7, das haben wir schon mal gesehen. Ganz interessant zu wissen, was da drauf steht. Hä? Was war das? Crap though. Sequels are good. Pull to Batman. Doom to. Was war das mit diesem Sound gerade eben? Wie habe ich das gemacht? Hier ist irgendwie ein Sound. Entschuldigung übrigens für die schlechte Qualität hier. Diese Brrrr. Das gefällt mir auch nicht. This way to the show floor. Okay. New features. Wow. Huh? Ah, da geht's weiter. Ui. 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 Wow, das ist mal... Oh. Sind uns hier gefangen? Kommen jetzt gleich Zombies raus.
Here we are. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Name. That's new. Enjoy. 2. Epilogue. Ist ein bisschen Angst, dass ich dann irgendwo reingehe. Please screech, no screenshots. Aha. Whole new office. Okay. Nee, das ist im... Das ist im Spiel, oder? Ah ja, das ist im Spiel. Red is the new orange, okay. Okay, das ist im Spiel. Ich habe jetzt echt gedacht, das ist mein Telefon, was es eigentlich nicht geht, weil es hier unten... So kleines, fieses Spiel. Sprungkreis, unendliches Loch. Der Knopf, der den Namen des Spielers nennt, der das Spiel spielt. Okay, das ist mal interessant. Das mit dem Knopf, das wollen wir mal angucken, oder? Oh, Merch. Also beim Telefon war jetzt aber auch irgendwie creepy. Guck mal hier. Gehe ich hier wieder hin? Collectibles. Free. New and easy achievement. Infinity hole. The jump circle.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Mhm. Okay. Aber ich möchte nicht meine Sprünge verbrauchen. Vielleicht brauche ich die ja noch. Tja, wir haben nur 30 Sprünge. Vielleicht brauche ich das ja noch. Okay, jetzt schauen wir uns als erstes mal den Button an, der da ist. Hear your name in the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Ja. Wo?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
No, I'm not Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim.
Okay.
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm done with this button.
Good.
Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
This feature is...
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, I can't even think about it.
Passiert irgendwas, wenn ich das 100-mal... Oh. Na toll. Oh Menno, wollte damit spielen.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
No, they wouldn't. Der Teppich ist ja furchtbar. So, was haben wir hier? Resurrence Pocket.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Ja, sag mal, hallo? Warum fragst du mich denn überhaupt? Na gut.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Get here. Free and easy achievement. Free to get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps. Just works. Get yours right now. Okay.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Hallo. Gib mir mein Achievement. Gib mir mein Achievement. Gib mir mein Achievement. Gib mir mein Achievement. Das kann aber nicht wahr sein. Funktioniert denn hier gar nichts? Also bisher hat hier überhaupt nichts funktioniert. Der Button, der meinen Namen sagt, hat nicht funktioniert. Das mit den Luftballons hat nicht funktioniert.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Nö, da möchte ich nicht hin. Ich möchte jetzt da oben hin. Ich möchte mal wissen, warum dieses Handygeräusch da oben ist. Unendliches Loch. Unendliches Loch finde ich schon mal gut. Guck mal hier. Da muss doch hier irgendwo... Ah. Epilog. Aha.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yep.
Yes, it would go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
So. New Narrow. Wo ist das unendliche Loch? Wo ist das unendliche Loch? Wo ist das unendliche Loch? Unendliches Loch. So. Ich möchte ins unendliche Loch. Nein. Ich möchte jetzt ins unendliche Loch. Time, depth, distance, space, time. Ah ja. Falling, opening, rim, sorry, bla bla bla. Ah, whole entrance. Und das ist die Technik dahinter. Schaut. Just keep going, okay?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Nein.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Nein.
Do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Das ist da oben kleiner?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely
tatsächlich kleiner.
hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole
just the two of us, just the two of us, just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us.
Up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Nein. Sind wir hier noch? Meeting at 2 p.m. New mug. Diese Anordnung von Zigaretten habe ich aber schon mal gesehen. Also bis jetzt hat nichts gefunktioniert.
Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Und?
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Well, there it is. The shape... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
Nope, it's not working.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose...
Das habe ich nicht gedrückt.
I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Okay. Toll. Dankeschön. Oh. Ich habe jetzt A gedrückt. Ich in meinem Loch. Schauen wir schnell die Einstellungen. Ich mag das eigentlich ganz gerne, wenn das so ein bisschen weiter ist, ne? Empfindlichkeit der Kamera, okay. Guck mal, jetzt geht's wieder runter. Cool. Auf Wiedersehen. Geil. Cool. Das finde ich am besten. Ändere denn Wahrnehmung? Und?
My head's stronger. No,
Meine Realität. Oh. Das ist lustig. Geil. Was haben wir denn noch alles? Okay. Das fand ich am lustigsten. Ändere dich selbst. Oh, das ist cool. Nein. Ah, wie geil. Das ist lustig. Der ist auch cool. Ja, wie geil.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
Was?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there,
Nein.
drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back.
Tüdelidü. Nein, jetzt fängt's wieder an. Oh Gott, ich werde wahnsinnig. Ah, nee, cool. Oh Mann. Wow. Hallo.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Ist der Knopf jetzt wieder da? Okay. Dann sind jetzt die Sachen wahrscheinlich... Pass auf, dann ist jetzt sicherlich das Loch... Das ist nur eine Lampe an. Also 2. No Screenshots. Das hat mich echt... Oh. Baby is all grown up. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. So, was haben wir noch nicht gesehen? Sprungkreis haben wir gesehen. Größtenteils unendliches Loch. Ja. Der Knopf, Spieler es nennt, der das Spiel spielt. Das stimmt aber nicht. Was ist das da mit dem Bucket? Das ist der Beruhigungseimer. Bürodekoration. Ah, Bürodekoration haben wir ja schon. Okay. Was ist das mit dem Eimer?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Ähnlich.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Was ist dieses Spiel jetzt? Ist es jetzt bloß irgendwie so ein... eine Promo? Habe ich jetzt eine Promo gekauft oder was?
For most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Nein.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Collectibles. Free New Achievement, get it here. Das haben wir schon. Okay, das haben wir schon. Das haben wir noch nicht. Collectibles. Collect them all. Okay.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable...
Oh, cool. 1 von 6. Okay, ich muss 6 finden. Okay. Yeah.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Ich möchte den scheiß Eimer wieder loswerden, der nervt mich. Kann ich ihn jetzt wieder abgeben, den scheiß Eimer? Was war da drin? Nur Screenshots.
Come now, You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Arsch. Beruhigungseimer. Ich möchte den Eimer wieder abgeben. Der ist scheiße. Und jetzt? Was soll ich denn jetzt machen? Hallo? Mr. Narrator, sagen Sie mir bitte, was ich machen soll. I'm a little bit concerned about... Hallo? So, wo muss ich jetzt hin? Sprungkreis. Vielleicht kann ich mal mit dem... Der Sprungkreis. Kann ich mit dem hüpfen? Okay. Toll. Collectibles. Ausgang. Ausgang. Ausgang ist gut. 30 Sprünge habe ich noch.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Ja,
Ready
klappt
to
schon.
move on now?
Ja. Das sieht ziemlich cool aus, das Bild. Das muss ich schon sagen. Das sieht sehr geil aus. Gefällt mir. Newmark.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly
Schönes
clear yet
Auditorium.
how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Ja.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Yeah.
Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is
Denkt
the
schon mal jemand,
Stanley
das ist jetzt hier einfach
Parable 2.
abgebrochen?
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ja. Okay. Oh, let's go. So.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour. One day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Das ist noch mein Weg in den Himmel.
Frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had...
Ah, Mann. The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sonst noch irgendwas
No matter
anderes
how
hier?
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for
Das
the
haben wir doch
achievement?
schon, den haben wir doch
Click a
schon.
door 5 times. Is that... Stanley picked up the bucket.
Ja. Mit Eimer ist gleich alles viel, viel besser. Pass mal auf, jetzt hüpfen wir mit Eimer aus dem Fenster, oder? Probieren wir es. Wir hüpfen mit Eimer aus dem Fenster. Come on, let me... Hop. Oh.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Okay.
My God,
Oh my
Stanley, you did it.
Oh my
you
God.
saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Okay. We've done this. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
Ich
go to the
möchte ja
meeting
immer
room.
noch einmal
Perhaps he had
dieses
simply
Ding
missed a
haben, wo
memo.
dann auf allen Monitoren The
No
End is
matter how
never the
hard
End
Stanley
steht.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Guck mal, da kommt der.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yo.
And here it was. Yes. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember,
ich habe schon gerade wieder ganz vergessen, dass die gibt.
Collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Oh, yes. Wahrscheinlich kann ich da auch runterfallen, oder? Und da rein. Und da runter. Wow! Oh, guck mal. Aha. Oh. Where am I? Where am I? Oh. Auf jeden Fall bin ich irgendwo, wo dieser Narrator mich nicht erwischt.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Oh, da gehe ich gleich nochmal hin, wenn ich den Bucket nicht habe.
Euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
Okay. Dann machen wir das gleiche jetzt nochmal ohne den Eimer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bla bla bla. Brrp.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Gehen
this
wir mal
was
ganz
not
schnell
the direct
dahinter.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So, jetzt schauen wir mal.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
Oh,
It
yes.
was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
So. Let's go. Wo? Wieder das? Anderes Telefon.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Aha. Okay. Okay. Das heißt, beim nächsten Neustart, schauen wir mal. Beim nächsten Neustart müssten doch jetzt eigentlich lauter Cardboxes sein. Oder was? 1000 irgendwas?
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Was ist das? Das ist ja geil. Ach nee, jetzt habe ich mit denen aber den Weg da hinten verblockt. Gut, dass ich es vorhin nochmal gemacht habe. Das heißt, sie sind jetzt überall. Oh, das ist neu. Figurine Finders Committee Meeting. Oh. Stimmt, ich habe ja noch diese Figurines, die ich finden muss. Jetzt pass auf.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Schauen wir mal. Ob wir noch so eine Figurine finden, hä? Oh. Schau mal. Das Licht ist anders. Zack, so. Trust the completionist instinct. Again, the Haken spotted one that makes float. Follow pro employee. 416. Red Room. Good luck. 416. Okay. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plan to allow other units Construct Bridge to allow... Okay, das haben wir. Die im Warehouse haben wir 416 Mission Status. Science Exhibit, large room, lots of boxes. Ah. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Okay, dann weiß ich, da haben wir schon mit den Red and Blue, okay. Nearby fireplates, okay. Private smelly plate, okay. Ich weiß, wo sie sind. So, jetzt pass auf. Schauen wir mal da rein.
Oh, no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ja, aber wir schauen erstmal runter.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things.
Okay.
What about mini-stands? Stanley figs?
Mini-stand.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. Gut. Zack, dann... Was war das noch? Ich glaube, jetzt kann ich nur noch ganz nach oben gehen. Ah ja, genau, im Klo. Ja.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
Zwei fehlen mir noch. Fireplace und rote-blaue Tür.
What do you think, Stanley?
Rote-blaue Tür. Wie kam ich zur roten-blauen Tür?
Intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one.
Rote-blaue Tür. Ach, das zeigt er mir sogar an. Schau mal.
Come to me.
I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not use, of course, says the lovely purse. Okay. Fireplace, fireplace. Go into a fireplace. Fireplace? Huh.
Here's the door, just go.
Ja, aber... Da.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number. And that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them.
Jetzt gehen wir mal in den Escape-Room, oder?
You can't go back to when you had no
ja,
Figler
bla, bla,
Anmarines.
bla.
None of us can.
Okay. So. Genau, jetzt muss ich wahrscheinlich in den Escape. Ich weiß nicht, wo die Tür war. Ich glaube aber Escape. Und dann da irgendwo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Waren wir hier schon mal?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Okay. Achso, nach unten geschaut.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oder auch nicht. Stanley Parable. Okay.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Was? In einem Museum? Landschaftsgemälde. Die Gemälde, die habe ich schon mal in dem Bürogrundriss. Dieser Plan zeigt Büro von Spielanfang. Der Weg von Stanleys Büro zu den beiden Türen war der erste Teil des Spiels, der gebaut wurde. Im Laufe der Entwicklung wurden Abschnitte hinzugefügt und verändert, aber der Kerngrundriss ist fast identisch zum ersten Durchlauf. Mein Büro, und dann gehe ich da da kann ich aus dem Fenster hüpfen. Da gehe ich runter in das andere Büro rein. Zack, 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 zack. Und dann zack, nach links. Und hier sind die 2 Türen. Ah, ja, cool. Die 2 Türen, die 2 offenen Türen waren der erste konkrete Teil des Stanley Parable Designs. Als dieser Raum erstellt wurde, entwickelt sich das Restspiel über eine Erweiterung davon, okay? Aktenschränke. Ha? Bürocomputer. Okay. Dann kann ich hier Knopfgeräusche. Auswahl. Aha. Das Büro. Dahinter gucken oder dahinter gehen? Ich kann nichts machen. Okay. Ah ja. Credits. Aha. Wartungsraum. Die erste Version des Wartungsraums. Aha. Okay. Schlachtfeld. Früh haben wir Ende entworfen und dann auf dem Schlachtfeld landet, gegen Aliens entkämpft. Okay, das kenne ich nicht. Wie komme ich zu dem Ende? Aha. Erzähler-E-Mails. Wie komme ich zu diesem Schlachtfeldende? Das wäre ganz interessant zu wissen. Also jetzt habe ich hier natürlich halt irgendwie alles. Zack, zack, zack. Oh, das geht's noch weiter. One Options, Options, Options. Okay. Was haben wir hier? Sending. Diese ist die erste Version des Endes, das als Sending bekannt ist und das dann letztendlich ausgeschnitten mit einem anderen Teil des Spiels zusammengefügt wurde. Echt? Sending Hebel. Hebel, spielen Teil von Sending. Aha. Game is not paused. Aha. Ja, wie komme ich da jetzt wieder raus? Komme ich hier wieder raus? Oh. Hi. Aha. Freiheitsende, das haben wir schon gesehen. Stanley.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. how they wish to control one another, how they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Okay. So, auf dem Weg nach unten.
It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nein, ich fahre jetzt nach unten, du Zipfel. Du Zipfel, fahr nach unten und ich suche nämlich noch eine Türe, damit ich das letzte Ding bekomme. Ja, okay.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left. Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake. No,
no, it's nicht links, it's nicht rechts.
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Jetzt wiederholt sich aber langsam so ein bisschen.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? See, we went down right, left,
Wie kriege ich dieses Schlachtfeldende?
Right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Gut. Dankeschön. Nein.
No.
Wie komme ich zu der roten und blauen Türe?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Hä? Ich überlege gerade, wie ich nach unten komme. Aber ich kann doch jetzt hier...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
416 sollte ich noch suchen. Hm? Kann ich jetzt nicht mehr zurück? 416. Das muss ich nochmal schnell suchen. Soll ich den einmal jetzt mitnehmen?
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Na ja, komm, dann machen wir das immer. 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Ja, wie komme ich zu der rot-blauen Türe denn hin?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Yeah.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Oh, ja.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
This is your bucket.
Irgendwo abgeben?
This is your companion
ich möchte ihn
and
abgeben.
lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Okay.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Property of Stanley.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Echt? Ich suche die 2 roten Türen.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh my God.
It was incredibly painful.
It was inside
Stanley
of
doubled
me.
over in agony and blacked out.
What a reveal. Bum, 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 bum,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Ist jetzt wieder das Gleiche? Das haben wir doch schon gehabt.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Okay.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. Bo. Stanley's dead. I like my Rodecaster, but there's a new one out now. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Wir
it
haben immer noch
mean?
nicht diese blöde Tür
Stanley decided to
gefunden.
go to the meeting room.
Oh,
Perhaps he
guck
had
mal, jetzt
simply missed a
sind da
memo.
die Aufkleber drauf. Cool. Wir nehmen den jetzt mal mit.
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Jetzt gehen wir mal nach
Stanley
oben
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the
und
door on his left.
gehen mit dem Bucket den normalen Weg. Also die... There will be a reward, bla bla bla.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we beat in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh. Okay, schade. Ist unfair.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Guck mal, Bucket, hier ist der... Hier. Hier ist das schöne Badezimmer. Was meinst du, lieber Eimer? Gefällt's dir hier? Kann ich eigentlich hier irgendwo drauf? Nein. Bam, 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 bam. Guck mal, Bucket, jetzt zeig dir was. So, jetzt wollen wir mal nach unten fahren, oder? Zeige ich dir mal was. Eine schöne Musik. Sind wir wieder offen? Nein.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Guck mal, aber da habe ich den kleinen Kreis. Das ist ganz interessant.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Ja, ich weiß die Kombination, das ist aber... Das mich gerade ein bisschen irritiert.
2845.
Ja, ist sehr gut. Oh, Klavier.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
Hey,
and
was ist
Stanley
los?
got the hell along
Hilfe!
with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Das finde ich so... Da weiß ich nicht. Naja. So, wenn ich jetzt da runter gehe, wenn ich nach links gehe, werde ich wieder zermatscht und komme in das Museum. Wenn ich...
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Das ganze Spiel kein anderer Mensch gesehen, gell?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Nope. Ich probiere jetzt mal etwas aus. If lift is on, call for 41914, okay. So. Dann fahren wir wieder. Haha, wir können nach oben fahren.
Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Da möchte ich hin. Die Nummer 3, okay.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Okay. Good.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Ja, vielleicht. Vielleicht hat er das nicht. So.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate? Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oder wir sind nochmal nach oben gegangen. Wer weiß? Sind wir nochmal nach oben gegangen?
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Bam, ba, 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 bam, 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 ba, 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 ba.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Passiert ist da nichts. Okay. Dann fahren wir wieder nach unten.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
Tja.
He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Ja. Okay. Fahren wir gleich wieder nach oben, oder? Ba, 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 ba. Let's try this.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Oh! Was?
For months he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
World peace, baby. An evening with the world peace, baby. Okay. So da. Stanley. Tonight, live on stage. Okay. The world's first sentient machine. Okay. To stage 3. Haha. Da ist nämlich meine Nummer 3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Storyteller 3. 3 again, 3 again. Oh, yes. Warte mal, 4 plus 2 plus 7. 6, 13, 4. Die Quersumme ist 4 von den Zahlen, okay. The dude who came up with pizza, an audience with, a night with. Huh?
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
But nonetheless. Hey, hab nichts gedrückt. Oh. Jetzt komme ich sicherlich wieder in der Dings. Habe ich wieder ein neues Ende. Wäre ganz cool, wenn man irgendwo mal so sieht, was denn diese Enden sind.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Was mich? Wo ist jetzt der New Content hin?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Weißt du, wo ich noch nicht lang gegangen bin?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. And there it is. The last
wir haben die ganzen. Super, guter Zeitpunkt.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
Okay.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Yeah.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yeah.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door?
Tja.
Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut.
Ich hab dich danach
I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Ist das echt? Ist das echt oder bin ich das? Das ist you. Nee, das ist nicht echt. Schauen wir mal hier rein.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on.
Oh, wow.
And now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing.
Oh, cool.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Ja, gerne.
Let me boot it up.
Gerne wollen wir das.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, he'll fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
Oh,
so why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Okay.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Okay. Jetzt schon kein Bock mehr.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate
Die grauen
babies
eigentlich
or
eine andere
purely to
wollen 1,
spite
2,
me?
8, 1, 2, 8.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out.
Okay, Dankeschön. Auf Wiederschauen.
Thank you for playing.
Ja.
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game?
Ja.
Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
Dankeschön.
What do we have here?
Komme ich jetzt vielleicht zu dem... Jetzt komme ich vielleicht in das andere Ende.
Let's give it a shot.
Ja. Was jetzt?
Aha, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious
Firewatch.
that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians.
Firewatch, das habe ich gerne gespielt. Es war bis zum Schluss. Der Schluss war nicht, hat mir gar nicht gefallen, die Auflösung von dem ganzen Halsmaul. Aber Firewatch war richtig gut. Oh, da ist auch ein Eimer, guck mal. Firewatch war richtig gut. Eben bis auf den Schluss. Das hat mir nicht so gefallen, aber könnte man eigentlich auch mal wieder spielen. Bam, 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 bam. Cool. Okay. Woo.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Was? Was kann nicht sein? Was kann nicht sein?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
Oh Gott, der Arme. Ist mir jetzt richtig schlecht geworden, ne? Der Arme.
Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Hey, nein, ich bin noch nicht hier fertig. Halt!
Something with nice, big,
ich wollte da zum Klo gehen. Ich muss aufs Klo. Hallo. Ich muss aufs Klo. Hallo. Ich muss aufs Klo.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a
Rocket
nice
League?
box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Kann ich da rein? Glitchy.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Keine
There are
Ahnung.
lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Okay.
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, jetzt bin ich schneller. Haha. Cool. Schneller!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
Ja.
Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportologist,
Yay!
but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Oh?
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Ja! Yay, cool! Hoffentlich darf ich es ein bisschen länger spielen als nur 3 Sekunden. Und da rein. Und da rein.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Ja, sehr.
Having fun?
Ja.
Is this a real video game?
Ja.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Nein!
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game. And
Böser.
what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
Boah, das ist
Besides,
trippy.
you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley. Oh,
Ja.
what are you doing?
Oh. Oh.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh. And I thought that 1 hour ago I have seen everything. Wie kann es sein, dass da noch mehr ist und noch mehr und noch mehr? Alter. Work in progress. Iteration. Place, rate your experience. Okay. Ich denke mal hier lang. Nee. Wie komme ich jetzt hier wieder weiter? Geilomato. Kann ich hier gehen? Oh. Okay, ich kann da gehen. Schwarzen. Gib mir trotzdem nur da lang, wo der Pfeil ist. Oh nein. Okay. Oh shit. 510, 510. 509. 508. Oh fuck, wo bin ich? 7. Ach. Das ist das Zimmer mit den 2 Türen. Ha. Oh, vielleicht kann ich zu meinem Office zurückgehen. Das schauen wir mal. Das Zimmer mit den 2 Türen. Jo. Das sind ganz andere Computer. (427) mein Büro. Oh, mein Büro sieht anders aus. So. Was? Aber was kann ich jetzt hier machen? Das ist ein ziemlich creepy Büro hier. Hallo? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Yep.
And if he's learned the heavy cost.
Ich bin ziemlich happy.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
No.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Und? Kann ich jetzt irgendwas machen? Hallo? Ah. Und dann fängt es wieder von vorne an. Wir haben aber alle Figuren jetzt gefunden. Okay, das ist ein alternatives Szenario. Das ist ein alternatives Szenario, schau. Ja. Geil. Das ist nur eine...
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's
Geil.
those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Geil,
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay. Oh,
I
guck
would
mal.
love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. And Stanley found the collectibles. Okay. Down the memory lane. Was haben wir hier? Audience Award. Aha. Das war das letzte Mal auch da. Genau, da hat's angefangen. Ja.
The first collectible. Back then we had no idea of how many of them we'd find.
Ja.
It's 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh. 7 von 6. Okay. Hä?
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts
Und jetzt kann ich noch mal alles suchfinden.
unremarkable ways.
Sehr nett. Hä? Oh, guck mal. Und dann...
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Ja, natürlich kann ich es erinnern, bin doch nicht doof.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here under the
dann
stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh.
Let's see.
Dann sind wir zum Kackhaus gegangen.
Oh, yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room.
Schön.
But it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Sieht schön aus hier. Ja, muss passiert sein. Was ist denn da oben? Aha. Schön sieht's aus. Ich möchte aber jetzt nicht weggehen von hier. Okay. Schönes Zimmer. Und dann...
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh.
Enjoy.
How you found? Voll cool. Sieht ungefähr so aus, wie ich meine Videos mache. Ah ja, okay.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Das ist auch nur eine Textur, die da drauf ist. Okay, geht's weiter. Jetzt. Oh. Ach ja, genau. Und da haben wir dann noch eine gefunden.
Then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Jo, aber die auf dem Klo hast du mir nicht gegeben.
Perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Tu mir immer den Favor. Oh. Ach, wie cool. Aha. You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Okay.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen.
Okay.
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction.
Okay, ja, super.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Natürlich weiß ich noch, ja, super.
Yes, I love that video.
Okay, dann sind wir hier reingegangen und dann in den Pink Room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Was passiert eigentlich, wenn man es jetzt nicht einsammelt? Hat das schon irgendjemand mal gemacht?
You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Genau, next one. Und?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Und da haben wir die
This
erste.
is it, the very first one we found in
Ziemlich
the exhibit
creepy
where I
aus mit dem,
introduced you
was
to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh, der Ausgang. Ja, bitte. Lass mich aus dieser Hölle raus. Collect them all. Das ist wieder der Raum mit den...
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Okay.
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Wie bin ich jetzt eigentlich hierher gekommen? Guck mal, egal wie rum man geht, okay. Oh, unser Büro.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Ja. Home at last.
Was there something that came
Was
before
für ein
your
krasses
office?
Office, ja.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Ich hab nichts gedruckt.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once.
Okay.
And give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh, cool.
I did enjoy it.
Ist es wirklich so, dass es jetzt das letzte Mal ist? Und dann habe ich es geschafft, endlich?
Okay.
Das wäre richtig cool.
Go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Jetzt schauen wir mal, ob es jetzt wirklich die letzte Runde ist. Okay, ich bin wieder in meiner Realität. Okay. Bitte, bitte.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Hallo? Leute, wo seid ihr denn alle? Ihr habt eure Rechner nicht ausgemacht. Ich mach sie für euch aus, okay? Versteck mich hier. Hehe. Ich verstecke mich hier. Who farted? Psst.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Aber... Oh, jetzt können wir in den Meeting Room mal schauen. Okay. Oh. Jetzt ist
Yet
wieder
there
alles
was not
beim
a single
Alten.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
War das vorher auch schon? Das da? Das. Hey! Wieso ist das hier zu? Oh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nichts Neues hier.
Here's the door, just go.
Ja, du hast mich doch jetzt gerade hierher geschickt. Jetzt sei doch nicht schnell so pisst. Das haben wir wieder. Okay, dann machen wir jetzt noch einmal das gute Ende, oder wie? It's late. It's late. It's after 12 o'clock.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door.
Ja, weil nämlich links, wo erst Kappe steht, ist voll scheiße.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Ja, ja, bla bla bla. Meinst du, ich weiß es nicht mehr? Meinst du, ich weiß das nicht mehr, was da war?
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Haben sie jetzt aber nichts Neues gemacht.
One of them, eternally
also diese Deluxe Edition ist ganz nett.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never, ever, never. Nein, nein.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exist.
Bau. Und wir haben das gute Ende freigeschaltet. Aber immer noch nicht das. Das wundert mich. Das Schlachtfeldende. Ich will nachher nochmal nachschauen, wie man das Schlachtfeldende freischaltet, wenn es überhaupt gibt. Yes, he won. He had won.
The machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life is, it will be his. That was all he needed to know.
Zwei Sachen muss ich mal nachgucken. Dieses Heaven Ending.
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Und
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense
das Schlachtfeld-Ending. Das hätte ich auch ganz gerne.
This was exactly the way.
Aber ich glaube, jetzt haben wir es alles geschafft. Ich könnte jetzt nicht sagen, dass jetzt irgendwas noch nicht... Gut, ich könnte mich 4 Stunden lang hinsetzen und das Babyspiel machen. Aber das mache ich nicht. Das hält ja kein Mensch aus. Okay, ich bin wieder mit meiner Realität.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Ba, ba, ba.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. Jetzt haben wir mal das normale Ende mit Bucket, oder? Wollen wir das machen? Ja.
Still no one was here.
Okay.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Also jetzt wiederholt sich's wirklich.
You can guarantee we be in here for hours. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So, bam, bam, bam.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yep.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. Gehen wir runter und dann können wir noch schnell mal schauen, wie das Ende ist mit dem Bucket. Bzzzt. Müssten wir in 3 Minuten eigentlich geschafft haben, oder?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
12:30 ist ganz schön spät. Bam, 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 bam.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Na, dann schauen wir doch mal. Was für ein komisches Geheimnis haben wir denn hier?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Okay. Gehen wir da rein.
No!
Oh,
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket.
Never ever.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust
Wir
no
könnten ja auch noch mal das andere
except
machen mit dem,
for the
dass man die
bucket.
Sachen drücke, aber da habe ich keinen Bock drauf. So.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Okay.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the...
Gut, vielen Dank. Dann wollen wir mal schauen.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
Ja.
Was it over?
Nein, das war nicht over, das war hier haben wir...
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Yeah.
Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Oh.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening?
Why had the door stopped?
Das habe ich jetzt
Was
nicht
Stanley and the
erwartet.
bucket not about to be freed? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Kann ich jetzt eigentlich nochmal schnell nennen?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So, schau mal. Jetzt bin ich wieder hier.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Schauen wir mal, ob er noch was ändert, wenn ich es ganz oft hintereinander starte.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, jetzt ist es anders.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jetzt was anders. Okay. Jetzt war es gerade anders. Okay, jetzt hat sich was geändert.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ich kann ja immer noch nach links rüber gehen.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Und? Ne, da kann ich nicht weiter.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley... Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Jetzt sind wieder alle... Oh, jetzt sind wieder alle. The end is never the end. Da auch? Ja. Auch nicht alle. Okay. was sie jetzt macht. Ha.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Genau.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Okay. Da sind auch ganz viele drin, schau mal. Okay. Da sind überall diese Boxen. Okay, aber wie? Irgendwas muss ja mit denen sein. Nein. Nein. 4B3, das hatte ich da auch noch.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ja, ich glaube,
It was okay.
hier sind keine Cardboxes.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oops.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Genau.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone
Good job.
thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone.
Jetzt hat es mich nochmal geändert. Cool.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Welcome to the Whiteboard Ending. Okay.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Dann komme ich hier wieder hin. Dann machen wir doch das Whiteboard Ending. Jetzt bin ich gespannt.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
I don't know.
All of his co-workers were gone. All of his co-workers were gone. All of his co-workers... The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Okay. If you say
When Stanley
so.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Meeting room.
Yet there was not a... All of his co-workers...
Ich glaube, jetzt ist echt... Das ist so scheiße, ich kann einfach nicht aufhören.
All of his co-workers were...
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Nicht.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yep.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yep.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Bist du sicher?
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Die blaue sind ja vorhin
Thank
gegangen.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, ist egal, welche Tür. Schwarz. Schwarz. Ja.
Do we want? What are we looking for?
Okay.
Here. Yes.
Oh,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Da ist ja wohl nicht wirklich was passiert.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Oh.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Echt?
We'll lose all of this.
Ja, wo führen diese Stufen hin? Ja, wo führen denn diese Stufen hin? Wie bin ich jetzt eigentlich nochmal hierher gekommen?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Ah.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Aber es gibt ja keine Option, oder?
No!
Autsch.
Oh, thank God.
Ach, gut.
You lived. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Verstehe ich nicht. Okay. Schau mal. Vorsichtig. Bis wohin kann ich hingehen? Ah! Autsch.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Läuft der jetzt schon langsam?
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over.
Nein, ich finde dein Game total geil.
Kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Komm noch mal ganz kurz hier rein, hä? Au.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Oh, jetzt wird es aber schon echt langsam. Okay. Oh, weia. Jetzt läuft er aber langsam. Yay, Sprungturm. Oh Gott, ouch, meine Beine. Da müssen wir hin. Okay. Diesmal machen wir es so. Wir machen einen Rückensprung. Und nochmal.
Is it over?
Oh.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay. Aha.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Okay. Oh, jetzt wird das. And is never the end. Bei mir ist schon the end, never the end. Ist the end, huh? So, oh, schauen wir mal, vielleicht ist er oben auf dem...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Schauen wir mal, ob oben bei der Tante...
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Auf dem...
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oben noch passiert. Oh, jetzt. Haha. Jetzt sind wir wieder hier. Schau mal. Right where we began.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, ja. Bin ich da vorhin... Ich glaube, ich bin dann ausgestiegen, oder? Ich bin nicht hochgegangen, ich bin dann vorhin ausgestiegen. Ach, deswegen ein Bucket. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Also nee, das passt aber alles so. Huh.
Yet there was not a single person here
Irgendwie sieht's anders aus.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hat schon wieder geöffnet.
Here's the door, just go.
Nein, ich wollte wieder raus. Haha. Siehst du? Und das ist auch komisch, weil nämlich hier, dann blinkt sie mich aus. So. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes if the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Aha. Jetzt kann ich wieder zurückgehen, ja? Jetzt kann ich wieder ganz zurückgehen. Oh. Das ist neu. What are your dreams for the future? Less air. Okay. Schauen wir, ob da jetzt wieder das Blaue ist. Oh. Hat sich wieder geändert, schau. Jetzt kann man hier in den New Content gehen. New Content. Es hat sich schon wieder was geändert. Das kann ja nicht wahr sein. Nein! Okay. New Content. Kann ich den ausstecken? Weil der eine sieht nämlich so aus und der andere so. Na, anscheinend nicht. Ich möchte bloß jetzt nichts verpassen. Das ist nämlich echt jetzt nur... Ach ja, genau, jetzt ist die Türe da hinten wieder offen. Die Tür ist jetzt ja offen. Okay. Okay. You are now leaving. Okay. Ach, ist das jetzt wieder... Jo. Das ist jetzt wieder die Sache, wo ich dann in Escape-Pod gehe. Kann ich noch den Eimer mitnehmen? Nee, schade. Das hätte ich jetzt gerne gemacht, dass ich nur den Eimer mitnehme. Oh. Mein Gott, jetzt müssen wir wieder 5 Stufen, 5 Treppen nach oben gehen. Jetzt habe ich wenigstens meinen Monitor hier so eingestellt, dass ich auch was sehe. Das letzte Mal bin ich ja hier hochgegangen und habe gar nichts gesehen. Da, di da, di da. Da, di da, di da. La, 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 la. Man hat ja gar keinen Choice. Also das ist ja... Ah, da ist er. Ich versucht es zu lesen, aber ist Kappe. Genau, das ist ein langer Gang. Das war letztes Mal nur komplett schwarz hier bei mir auf dem Monitor. Okay. Oh. Ja genau, dann bin ich dann auch nur dahin gegangen, hingeditscht und dann ging es schon weiter irgendwie. Naja. Okay. Oh.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Nein, kann ich nicht. Also gehe ich jetzt einfach. Ha?
Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Ist es wirklich gecancelt? Ich würde mal sagen, das war's wahrscheinlich jetzt mit Stanley Parable. Ich habe doch ziemlich viel, glaube ich, erforscht und gesehen an Enden und ich werde nochmal nachgucken, ob es wirklich ein Ende gibt, bei dem ich auf diesem Schlachtfeld bin, wie es in diesem Museum war, also wie es gesagt wurde. Das muss ich nochmal schauen. Und was sollte ich noch gucken? Irgendein anderes. Achso, genau, das mit dem Heaven Ending, ob es dann vielleicht noch irgendwie eine Lösung für gibt. Ansonsten wünsche ich euch einen schönen Tag. Bis dann. Servus.